Greetings, Android users. This is Reverend Kyle, your Minister of Mobile Devices, and I have recently purchased the Nexus 7 dock from the Google Play Store, and I have my Nexus 7 here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the features of the Nexus 7 dock, how it communicates with the Nexus 7, and all the different fun things that you can do with it. I did purchase this from the Play Store. I paid $30 plus shipping, so all in all it was about $39 after shipping and handling and all of that. So let's take a look at it here. The box itself has tape on the bottom of it, which I have already removed. I've already cut it. So when you open it up, let me just sure we're focused here. Okay, so you have an instruction manual, and the instruction manual itself tells you a little bit about the dock and whatnot. It's in multiple languages, and it talks about the adapter and how to plug it into the back. And then we have the actual dock itself. I will pull that out here. The dock itself did not come with any type of wrapping or packaging or anything on it. It just was sitting in the box here. That's it. That's all you get in the box. There is nothing else in here. I would have thought for the cost of this device it may come with an additional adapter or charger, but it did not. So I was a little disappointed to see that really all I got was a folded up piece of paper and then the dock itself. Well, that's the way it goes sometimes. So let's take a look at the dock itself. So here is the front of it, and you can see on the inside there are the little metal connectors that will correlate to the metal connectors on the bottom of the Nexus 7. And on the front of it, you just have the Nexus logo, and on the back is a USB port and then an audio out port. And that's it. The bottom is rubberized, and it does have a decent weight to it. I was very pleased with the weight. It does feel very sturdy, and like I said, there's not a whole lot to it. The cutout does not seem to be too terribly deep, but it does look like it's going to be deep enough to accommodate the device. So now I'm going to add some power to it. Now I do have the official adapter for it. In the instructions it does say at least to do a 2 volt, which I believe this one does say, let's see here, well I don't see what it actually says this one is. Looks like it is a 5 volt. Okay, so it looks like we've got a 5 volt adapter here, which is great because that's going to give a nice little oomph to the charge. And then I've got your standard USB cable along with it. So I'm going to plug this in to the back of the device. Okay, and then I will plug this in to the wall. And now I have power, supposedly. So and just to kind of give you a background here, my Nexus 7 is running CyanogenMod 10.1 based on the Android 4.2.2. So that, as a matter of fact, I just very recently installed that on this device. So I'm just going to plop it down, and let's see what we get. So it turned on. Let me lower this a bit here. And it looks like it's charging. Turn the power back on and unlock it. Okay, so that's it. It's charging. It does indicate that it is charging. The device already had a 90-something% charge to it, so I wouldn't expect it to charge any more than that. Now I have to tell you that if you have stock on this, plopping this into the dock does force it to ask, or put the clock on rather. Now you'll notice that when I push down on it, now it's asking for use dock for audio. So I guess I didn't have it down all the way. And I'm going to say okay to that, and let's just see this one more time. So push it down, I guess it's snug enough now. Okay, let's go into settings here and take a look at the battery, and it does indicate that it's charging. Let me just zoom in, so it does indicate that it's charging. And I guess that's it really in terms of the basic functionality. Now we're going to get into a couple of the other pieces. I'm going to add some speakers, and I'm also going to show you some other fun stuff, so I'll be right back. Okay, before we go any further, I do want to point out how to get the clock to show up, because that was something that I was struggling with a bit here myself. In CyanogenMod 10.1, obviously, if you have your stock version, this isn't a problem for you. But if you go into settings and you scroll down to display, under display you have something called Daydream, and you just turn that on and choose clock, and that will actually will allow the clock to show up when you put it on the dock. And I'll show you what that looks like here in a moment. The other thing that you're going to want to do is, once you're in the dock, in order to get the audio to come out of the speakers, you'll notice that if you look back in my earlier part of the video, a little box popped up and said, do you want to use the dock for audio? And I just kind of said okay without checking that. I should have checked that. So if I go into sound and scroll down a bit, you'll notice that here's an option to have it do a dock insert sound, and then there's an audio, but it's grayed out because we're not on the dock right now. So I'm going to actually put it on the dock, and you'll notice that I now have the clock. Now this clock, this is your Daydream clock, and that's your kind of the clock with the lowercase c and the uppercase L that CyanogenMod is using. But if you just tap it, it takes you back into your sound, or well, your settings where you were last. I'm going to go to here to audio for music and media, and I'm going to check, put a check mark in there, so that will be enabled. So now when I play audio from the device, I should hear it out of the speaker. So let's just test that here. I'll go into my Google Music, and let's go find something to listen to here. I'll go into okay, so this should come out of the speakers now, as opposed to the, and it's coming out of the speakers. Now I've got the speakers turned up all the way, and these are just cheap little powered speakers, nothing major. Now I can change the volume on the speakers because they're powered. Somebody had mentioned on one of the forums that they would expect the volume rocker to affect the volume control, and they said that they were struggling with getting that to work, but mine seems to work just fine. So the volume control does work. It's a little delayed, but it works. And then I can also use the speaker volumes as well. So this is a nice little setup, really, if you're looking for this to be a media device. And I would imagine you could probably go in, and of course I've left it running. Let's turn that off. I would imagine I could probably go into, and I don't have the YouTube app, but I would imagine I'd be able to go into those things and play movies and audio and that kind of thing. So that's your sound audio setup, and this would be a handy little, and I'll just unplug it or pull it off the dock, put it back on the dock. This would be, and again you'll notice that it struggled there. There we go. So there's a little bit of a nuance there to get it to sit correctly, but this would be a nice little setup for next to someone's bed. I could definitely see myself using this. As a matter of fact, I'll probably put this next to my bed now that I have this set up. So let's move on to something a little bit more fun. Okay, so what do I have here? Well, I've got a keyboard and a mouse, and I have them plugged into a USB hub here, and I also have an OTG cable. Now somebody had suggested that because of the fact that it's being powered through this, that it would disable the USB port and it would not allow USB OTG. So let's find out if that is the case. I will plug my OTG cable into there, and then I will plug in my USB hub, and let's see what I've got. Well, well, I've got power. Doesn't appear to be working. It may be because of the hub. Let me try just the mouse. Nope, nothing there. Okay, let me try it without the dock. Oh, okay. So I do have a mouse here. It's undocked, so let me put it back on the dock. Okay, well, I'm charging and the dock appears to be working. So let's see if I can get both devices to work. Okay, well, I have a mouse. Let me zoom in here for a little proof. Alright, so I have a mouse. It does appear to be charging. Okay, let's see if the keyboard works. Looks like the keyboard's working. So I have a keyboard and mouse. So this problem might have just been me having a flaky OTG cable. I've had this thing for quite a while. Let's see if the speakers... Let's see if we can turn the... Let's go in and play with the equalizer. Yeah. So it does seem to not like to be setting perfectly, or it needs to be setting perfectly, or it is going to be. Let's go and change a preset. Rock. Okay, well, this is kind of cool. Let me see if the volume works. Yep. Okay, so for the purposes of the dock, the dock can be used as a dock along with the OTG with the keyboard and the mouse. Now obviously you could even take it a step further, and if you wanted to put a USB drive on here, I would imagine you'd probably want something powered or fast speed. You could probably stream or save to it, but I see this dock kind of being a handy little addition to give you a quasi desktop setup. As kind of convoluted as it appears, it does work. So this is definitely something that you can play with. My final thoughts on this, and let me just turn the music off here. Okay, so my final thought here is, in terms of a dock, it does charge, it does allow audio output, it does not disable the USB port, so it can still be used for OTG or whatever. Handy little device to have. It's got some weight, gives you somewhere to plop it down. You know, the concerns that you may have about your power cable kind of loosening up the USB port over the year or whatever, I could see that. It was, like I said, almost $40 with shipping, and it did not come with its own individual power cord. A little overpriced, but definitely this is a handy little device to have. So this has been Reverend Kyle showing you my review of the Asus dock for the Google Nexus 7 tablet.